Hi, and welcome back to the Joy of Transformation. I am Kathy Jo Lang, registered nurse, certified life coach, and podcast host of the Joy of Transformation and the Unplanned Joyful Life. Today, I want to talk about the idea of transitioning back to a normal routine after travel, illness, or maybe a minor crisis or a series of crises. I've noticed recently that I've been in contact with a lot of people and including myself. I just got back from traveling, and I'm always aware of a need for myself to transition back to my normal routine once I've been away. This can also be necessary, again, like if you've dealt with some type of crisis, either an illness, um, a car accident, maybe helping someone in your family who is ill, or supporting a friend that is going through something that you're spending time on things that you normally don't, and it may get you out of your regular routine. And then sometimes it's hard to get back in. And when you're always working towards transformation and you're trying to create healthy habits, our routine is a big part of our success, getting enough sleep, getting the right things to eat. Um, our body looks to routine and it is comforted by routine, and sleep is important. The nutrients we take in is important. All of that stuff is important. And when we get off track, it is very easy for us to get off track with our goals, get off track with our prayer life, get off track with the things that we need that keep us uh, being our best selves and being able to accomplish goals that we need and take care of ourselves and our family and our homes and our relationships. So I think again, it's just because I think we're in the middle of summer now, and a lot of people are traveling and then returning home. Some people are dealing with summer colds that maybe have been brought on by allergies. Um, I know a couple people who have dealt with some personal issues that didn't seem like life and death issues, but they were enough that when they built over time, it was easy for them to kind of question themselves and get off track with their routine. And that can affect us mentally, physically, spiritually. So today I want to share 10 things that you can do when transitioning back to a normal routine after travel, illness, or minor crises. So, some of these might be travel, which is something that we know ahead that we're going to be traveling, and some things aren't. When we get sick or there is some type of crisis or accident, we can't plan ahead for that. But we can be aware when we're transitioning back to our normal routine to do things to get us back on track as simply and as easy and as effectively as possible. So these are 10 things that you can do after dealing with travel, illness, or crises that might throw you off your regular routine. The first thing I want you to do is just to be aware of your need to transition back to a regular routine. Sometimes I think that our expectations of ourselves sometimes can be pretty harsh, and we can have high expectations without actually being aware of our personal needs or simple needs that really make a difference. So just being aware that you're transitioning back and that you're getting back into a routine will help you then tend to your needs easier. But you do just have to be mindful and aware of the fact that there's been a change, there's been an issue, you're getting back to normal. What can I do to make this easier and better for myself and my family? Number two is to take advantage of pockets of time to rest. So we just traveled back from New Jersey on Sunday, and we got home at about 1:30 and unpacked and put things away. And I really kind of took it easy the rest of the day. I maybe did like a grocery order or something. But I knew that I was going to be busy starting early Monday morning. And so I wanted to take advantage of that time Sunday afternoon before I got busy. I did also, after being busy like all day Monday, all day Tuesday, I did start to feel like I needed a rest. And so when I was making plans for Wednesday and I knew I had appointments in the afternoon, I knew that I had a little time in the morning to just kind of take it easy, take it slow. I did get work done, but it was at my own pace. And I was kind of just being very prayerful and mindful and aware that I needed a little extra rest that day. And so by doing that, I kind of got myself back on track better, was able to attend the appointments and spend some time with my daughter that night and really enjoyed myself. So just being aware of that. Number three is don't overplan or overschedule the week after a vacation or time away. So if you know that you're going away, a lot of times with your work, depending on what you do, some types of work, you just show up for work, you do your work and you leave. Other types of work are things that, like, if you're not there that week, stuff doesn't get done. So you either have to do, extra before or after you get back, or you may have to double up on work before and after. So, for that reason, and because you do want to give yourself a little bit of leeway with recovering from the transition, I would say not to overplan or overschedule. I'm saying here the week after a vacation, but I would also say the week before because you'll probably be spending time on extra work and planning and packing and little things that you need to do beforehand. So I'm going to change that to not to overplan or overschedule the week before or after a vacation or time away. Number four, it is if it's an unexpected illness or crisis that throws you off your regular schedule, this is not something you can plan ahead for. Sometimes we get sick and we think, oh, I'll definitely feel better, by Thursday, and we don't. And then because we've been sick, maybe our energy is low or we're catching up on things that we didn't get done the week that we were sick. So I'm going to say to consider rescheduling appointments. So if the unexpected illness or crisis is what throws you off of your regular schedule, consider rescheduling appointments either that week and or the following week just to give yourself a little bit more leeway. Number five, don't underestimate your needs when issues or crises are not life or death situations. Individually, you may experience an accumulation of minor events that take a toll on you. Um, and this is enough to throw you off track. So I think sometimes, we kind of rate mentally different things we're dealing with and how much that should affect us. But we really have to always be aware of what we've been doing, what we plan on doing, where we're at right now, and to really kind of give ourselves some grace. Um, I was talking to somebody recently who had multiple things. It was like week after week. Like one week the dog was sick, the next week there was a car accident, the next week she was dealing with some, health issues. And so it's taking longer to get back into a routine, but if you are talking or thinking about your own situation, a lot of times we're very subjective and we don't really give ourselves credit or give the circumstances enough credit to give ourselves what we need. And so I guess I encourage you to just be aware when there are multiple incidences or circumstances or crises that are happening, just to give yourself a little bit of extra time and grace, and just again be aware of doesn't have to be a life and death situation in order to throw you off your routine, right? Number six is provide yourself with good self-care and healthy boundaries. And self-care can be such a variety of things. Some of the next points that I'm going to make has to do with parts of self-care, but providing yourself with good self-care as far as, if you need to go to the doctor, make sure you get to the doctor, take your medications as planned. Personally, creating healthy boundaries. There may be some relationships that draw more energy from you than others, or maybe some people that really have been a little bit toxic and you're kind of low energy, so you don't really have the energy to be around those people right now. It could just be that you're not going to be planning anything social this week until you get what you need to take in uh, care of. So I guess it's just being aware of your own self-care. I'm going to say here would be kind of more mental health self-care and things that you need to do for yourself. It might be not taking a nap, but just laying on the couch and watching maybe a rom-com that is kind of like a no-brainer and it's really relaxing for you. Whatever works for you and is going to give you the self-care that you need. And also, I'm going to just relate that to healthy boundaries because in my coaching, there's always a need for self-care, healthy boundaries, and one of the most important ways of providing self-care is practicing healthy boundaries for yourself and for your family. Number seven, do your best to eat a well-balanced diet and sufficient amounts of water. And I'm putting do your best on the next three because I know that it's not easy to jump right back into a regular routine. And I think that when we sometimes overeat or we're not drinking enough water, we can be hard on ourselves. But sometimes that actually deters us from getting back on track because we're just kind of beating ourselves up, and that doesn't really help our energy or our perspective on things. So I'm saying do your best to eat well-balanced diet and sufficient amount of water. I would say there are so many different diets out there right now, and I know a lot are focused on high protein. Whatever the best healthy diet seems to be for you, that's what I would encourage. I would encourage a variety of fruits and vegetables, proteins, carbs. Stay away from processed. Stay away from like high salt, high fat, high sugar, and focus on whole foods and lots of water. I think that basically when you're figuring out how much water, they usually say to have double your weight in pounds, like converted to ounces. So if you weigh, I'm sorry, yeah, so if you weigh 160 pounds, you should have 80 ounces of water a day. I think that is the formula that most people use. So just really drinking that water, and that helps to get rid of any kind of inflammation in your body and toxins, and just kind of helps every organ to work better and to stay hydrated and pliable and just working at its best. Number eight, do your best to get enough sleep. I know that this isn't always easy for those that have difficulty sleeping, which I am one of them. I have been going to bed a little bit earlier this week, and it has been working out well for me. Even if I do wake up during the night, I still end up getting enough sleep because I've been going to bed early enough that even if I sleep in an extra hour from what I planned, I'm still in good shape. I usually set my alarm for 8 hours from the time that I go to bed. And if I wake up during the night, then I just give myself a snooze unless I have something, you know, first thing in the morning. All right. Number nine, do your best to continue or resume a regular moderate exercise regimen. And this also helps you with your sleep. It helps with your appetite. You definitely need water if you're going to be exercising regularly. And it just helps with your overall health. And it actually helps a lot with your mental health. Whether you're walking or using weights or doing like an aerobics class, it's going to help your endorphins. It's going to give you positive energy and help your perspective. Sometimes when we are sick, we've been away, we are dealing with a crisis, we can become depleted easily. And when we're depleted, it can affect us mentally, physically, spiritually, and we are more vulnerable to the adversary. So, number 10 is to pray continually throughout the time away or time of crisis and after. So this is something that we can do all the time. It's not something that matters if we're in another state, if we're in a hospital room, if we're at home. One of the things that we can always do is continue to pray. And you even can use apps on your phone. Like my husband and I read Jesus Calling every day, but I can Google the readings for Jesus Calling and read them off my phone if I want to. I follow the Ascension app where I read the daily mass and then a reflection. That's something that I have on my phone with me. So no matter where I am, I can always access those things. And most people always have their phones with them. You can also Google scripture. You can go to Catholic TV Network and watch the mass for that day. All of these things will help you to stay in a close relationship with Christ. And I think that because, like I said, we do get depleted easily when we have changes, when we're transitioning, when we're trying to get back on track. And prayer helps to protect us from the adversary. And so, because when we are depleted, we see things differently. You know, when we're dehydrated or when we're retaining fluid, it affects us mentally. These things do affect us. So, prayer is something we can do at all times. And then the last little bonus that I just added when I was in prayer this morning was to ask for and receive God's grace. His love and mercy is always readily available to us. We just need to seek and receive. So, no matter where you're at in the process, God's grace is always available, but we do have to reach out to it. We do have to pray. We have to ask Him to be near to us. We have to let Him know we want Him in our lives. And the more that we do that, the more that we will experience His presence. So I hope that you are having a great summer. I hope that you are traveling, that you're camping, you're vacationing, you're going to the beach, you're spending time with family. If you do happen to get sick, or have some issue that you're dealing with, I hope that it doesn't last too long and I hope it doesn't get you too off track. But I would say definitely do these things. Be aware of your need to transition, take advantage of pockets of time to rest. Don't overplan or overschedule the week after vacation or time away. If it's an unexpected illness or crisis that throws you off your regular routine, consider rescheduling appointments. Number five, don't underestimate your needs when issues or crises are not life and death situations. You may experience an accumulation of minor events that takes a toll on you. And number six, provide yourself with good self-care and healthy boundaries. Do your best. This is number seven, do your best to eat well-balanced diet and sufficient amounts of water. Number eight, do your best to get enough sleep. Number nine, do your best to continue or resume a regular moderate exercise regimen. Number 10, pray continuously throughout the time away or times of crisis and after. Depletion affects us mentally, physically, spiritually, and we are more vulnerable to the adversary. And the last thing I want to say is that if you are um, working towards transformation, although there is joy in transformation, there is also work in transformation, and it does take energy from you. So you do need to make sure you're caring for yourself. Stay close to your King. Have a truly blessed day, and I hope you have a wonderful summer. I hope that this episode blesses you in some way. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you.